The following podcast is part of the MindBodySpirit.fm podcast network.
Welcome to the Oneness Connection. I'm your host, Debra Moffitt, author, intuitive, and visionary, and I'll be bringing you high-vibe information, conversations with thought leaders and amazing individuals from around the world who aim to inspire and encourage you to step into the peace, prosperity, and oneness of the new golden age. It's just a frequency shift away, so come and join us. In today's episode, professional airline pilot Agustín shares more of his understanding about the nature of duality, and he also talks about how he's integrating the oneness experience into his daily activities. One of the things he's decided to do, and has done for some years now, is open an Indigo school to support children in developing and gaining confidence in their own extrasensory perception and intuitive abilities. As we explore the phenomenon of our innate human capacities of perceiving beyond the physical sensory organs, I encourage you to really imagine, be curious, and playfully step into the potentials that you have. Open more and more, if you will, to your own powerful and untapped abilities. So, I'm curious, do you feel that these contacts amplified your intuitive abilities, your psychic abilities?
Yes, absolutely. Everyone, as we teach in the Indigo School for Kids, everyone have those abilities. The thing is that our own programming is the one that closes those abilities. And oneness is oneness, and you were talking about these other type of energies that come, but are also part of oneness. Yeah. And I have really experienced those energies as well. And I have experienced how love takes them away. Okay? So I had a very personal experience with someone that was into darkness, and when I shared love, that darkness just disappeared. Mm-hmm. So it's we have to integrate everything, and as soon as we know how powerful we are and how powerful love is, that other things disappear. So oneness means one thing, and we, with our brain, we divide things, okay? We think that the material world that we are living in is that, a material world that is separated from the astral world or the interdimensional world, which is not the case. It's just a mind construct within the psychological warfare theater, okay? But we are, let's say, in what we could call the spirit world already, right now.
The spiritual what?
Spiritual world. Okay, so we are just energy. We are atoms and molecules. We are protons, electrons, neutrons, just that. But it's our own mind programming that made us manifest all that we live in, all that our reality is. So this programming, it's being directed through some other places to create this scenario or this theater that we call planet Earth, okay? But everything, in a way, it's evolving and it's changing, and this is one kind of experience. There are hundreds of kinds of experiences. But let's say souls or people in this reality needed the help to know this, to get over it, and just surpass these ideas. So that's the way that humanity is going. As long as we think that we are still governed by this fear, we will be synchronizing ourselves with this reality. You know, it's quite a very complex thing, because sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it doesn't. But if you just look at the way that the planet works, anyone can understand that it's a psychological scenario, which or warfare scenario, let's say. I don't want to really use the word, because it triggers on people something. So, oh, he comes here to this beautiful oneness place to speak about warfare. That's not fair, you know. And but that's also part of the programming in this scenario, where the new era group it's created, where we think that everything is love and light, and it's not that it's not. But there is Nigeria as well. There is Switzerland as well. So as long as we acknowledge everything, we can put everything into oneness. So it's not putting our head in the sand that we solve the issue, you know. Those that we call dark, or the darkness is there, but it's part of us as well. When we integrate that on us, that's it. The game is over, because you cannot be afraid of yourself. So we talk about oneness, and let's talk about darkness and light as well. No problem, no issue, no fear, because it has no power over light. Okay? So it's something that has to be there, because if not, it shouldn't. And that's it.
Yeah, it's this experience of duality is an interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah, very.
It's I'd say it's kind of tough for most of us. It's a real school, you know, talking about the school. So what are you going to be sharing? So there are two questions here for you, Agustín. What are you going to be sharing with children in terms of what you want to impart with the school? And then also, what kind of practical wisdom can you share with people about how to navigate this reality with the dualities and this sort of psychological warfare that you're talking about?
I will let you know what I have learned in my path, is that you cannot awaken anyone. We cannot enlighten anyone until they are ready by themselves.
Yeah.
So it's actually an egoistic idea to try to get people out of their ignorance or their darkness, because in a way they have created that to experience it for their own evolution. So I was not looking for any guru or something. This just happened to me as part of my journey. I have gone through many things that are not probably very nice in terms of, oh, this is an angel or something. No, it's just same darkness and light that anyone else. And what we try to share is actually that what we are, what we really are. So those who are ready will accept. Those who are not, time will come. So for the kids, what happened is during the pandemic that we have, part of the evolution of humanity, a catalyst for our experience to make it faster, to bring all these new concepts and experiences into humanity, let's say. A very well prepared thing, of course. I just moved to Spain. And in Spain, I did a course, an instructor course for what it's called extraocular vision. It's a concept. It's like remote viewing, the same. But this concept was brought by a Mexican person called Noé Esperón. And he takes it from another very famous psychologist, a Mexican one, Jacobo Greenberg. Okay? So he was exploring all these things about consciousness and contact and everything. And he disappeared actually in 1994, I think. Strangely disappeared when he was exploring into telepathy and all kind of things. So he did a great job. So I did this instructor course, and because of the pandemic, and as I was coming from the Dubai, because I had kids working there doing an amazing work, I asked this person, the director of this extraocular vision, if I could do that online, because I wanted to continue with the work with the kids, but they were far away. And he said, no, this cannot be done online. We don't do that online. So we are not going to support. So I said, you know what? Okay. I did some work with the kids. I was not charging. And I was having great, beautiful results doing that online, because it's oneness. It's everything. It's now, here and now. So why it's different for us just because of our mind programming? So I sent them some videos that were showing perfectly that this could be done, but still it was disregarded. And then I say, okay, well, you know what? I have to go on my own because I know this can be done. So I brought all my esoterical, mystical, out of the body, whatever experience into what I have learned, which was great. And I am very grateful for what they have done, but these can be taken further. So we do what other groups don't do, which is working online. We know that there are no barriers for consciousness. So I personally have seen kids being blindfolded, putting their hand in a book that was still within the box, and telling me what the book was all about and in what year was written. I have kids that their mother was holding a book behind their back, and they were able to see, being blindfolded, what was in the book. I had kids playing with the iPad, being blindfolded, playing the Minecraft, being blindfolded, and so many other experiences. We experienced telekinesis. We experienced talking with other beings from other realities, with kids from 7, 8 years old, and they are so pure, and they tell you, yeah, the being is telling me this, and the being is telling me that, and it's, how is the being? It's like this, it's like that. I have taken their consciousness to fly around the solar system easily. So all these can be done in much, much, much more, as long as we get rid of the mind programs that we have, which one of them is, oh yeah, we live in a material world. No, it's not. We feel like it's a material world. And when we go to the astral, we could see cars, and we could see buildings, and we see other people, but are they material as we think materiality is? Not really. So it's it takes some time to grasp it, but as soon as these kids start growing, they will surpass what we are big time now. There is a new generation. No, it's a new species for us. So what we do in the Indigo school, it's mostly to teach the parents, because they have put labels on the kids like TDAH, or all these disorders, this autism, all these things that are just labels, because we don't understand what consciousness is, and we don't really understand what those kids are doing for the families, okay, by giving so much work. So actually the parents have to go and focus on that, and stop being on the phone and thinking about the job and the work that they do. That is so important. And we are into so many things that are actually not important at all, but we think that those things are important for life, when actually they are not. But that's part of the psychological warfare theater that the planet Earth represents at that point in time.
I think it's great that you're talking about this, because I have a guest who's coming in July who has She is a remote viewer, futurist. She's in her 80s. She's been tested in labs for her accuracy. And she did a project called Blind Awareness, where she would teach blind people how to, adults, this is different with adults, which can be a little bit tougher, apparently. And I'll ask you about that in a moment. And she would teach people how to navigate and see without the physical eyes. So it's beyond the physical organs. And we have these, I think that for me, that's what's really clear as an intuitive. We have the sensory aspects that are way beyond the limitations of the physical organs. We don't need the physical organs.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so that's really interesting. So have you had experiences with adults as well in terms of
Yes.
limitations, or tell me about that?
Yes, we focus on children just because we know that adults are having a programming that doesn't allow them to actually tap into what they really are. And to get rid of those programs for an adult, it's not impossible, but not really easy. And if they are really into the material world, it could be quite hard. So that's why we work mostly on children, because that's the new generation and those who are being in government, and they're going to be moms and dads in the future. So as long as we get new generations more pure and more pure, and let's materialize, let's say, we are going to improve. So we can do so many things. A blind person can ride a bike, can ride a motorbike. It's been proven. It's not just theory. It can be done. So actually, our eyes are not looking into anything. We are not looking outside of us. We're not watching outside. I'm not looking at the wall right now. The wall is into me. Okay, because the eyes are just the translator of light, and the image it's produced within in the brain, isn't it? Because the information comes and we translate everything. As the sound comes, the sound, it's not outside of us. It's coming from outside. It's in waves. You tell me yes, but where is actually the place that you are hearing that? It's here. It's here. It's inside your brain, and you detect that it's outside. Yeah. So the body, it's just a translator. It's just a device that it's used to tune into what we call material reality, being here, physical, having this experience in this place. But how can a kid can read a book that it's behind? Or how can a kid can put a hand in a book and know what it is? Everything, it's there. Everything, it's energy. We are energy, but with the mindset that we are here, just trapped here. And that's not true.
Yeah.
So I have seen it. I have proved it myself. I have seen with my eyes closed. I have seen the stars with my eyes closed. So we limit ourselves in a way, but actually that limitation comes from all the programming that it's part of this reality, this planet. But we don't have any limits, no limitations for us. So that's why we mostly focus on kids, because adults, they really have programs that, for a kid, I'd say, okay, I'm going to blind your eyes, and you're going to read this book for me, okay? Yeah, okay. They don't really say, no, I cannot do that. But if I ask an adult, say, I'm going to blindfold and you're going to read this book for me, say, you are crazy? What? With my eyes closed, I cannot do that. As far as you think that you cannot do that, you won't.
Exactly.
So that's the same for anything else. The body is just a translator. Sickness doesn't exist. It's part of your mind. You are the one that is bringing this into you. So it's everything. It's energetically done first, and then we bring into a manifestation in our physical body. So yeah, so many things. Huh?
Yeah, it's quite a leap for as we move into the golden age. This is part of the golden age experience, right? It's into using the extrasensory perceptions that go beyond the organs. We're not limited to the organs.
Yeah.
So as we come to a close, Agustín, for this session, because I know we'll connect again, what would you like to share as a final message? And then also, I want you to tell people how they can find you and find out about the school.
Well, we don't really have a lot of marketing around this school. There are so many doing the same thing, and only those who are looking for it will find it. So we know how the universe works. We have a Facebook page called Indigo School, but no one is going to find us if they're not looking for us. For those who are actually looking for something, they will find. That's for sure. The universe, let's say the universe will put everything they need in front of them. So the only advice is that I cannot give you advice. It's just, I know now that everything happens at a certain point in time. And yes, there are some other people that are just used as tools, let's say, to bring, to tune into, as you work with other people doing readings and everything, they will find you when they have to find you. So everyone is in their own path, and as much as we go further into ourselves, into that path, we're going to be helping others as well, or at least you. And if you help yourself, you're helping God. If you help other, you are helping God as well. Yeah. So I don't really have much to say about it, that all this exists. For those who are watching you, I'm sure that they already know, but maybe this video comes into the hands of someone that is just starting their journey, someone that it was like me, not into the journey, but it was time to start and say, oh wow, all this resonates. So yeah, they will start from here and looking for other things, and everything it will provide it for them, because that's why we are here. That's why the universe works so well, and let's enjoy the ride.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Agustín. I look forward to connecting again soon.
Me too. Yeah, absolutely.
You've been listening to Debra Moffitt on the Oneness Connection. And if you'd like to learn more about my books, workshops, and one-to-one intuitive sessions, please come to DebraMoffitt.com, DebraMoffitt.com, and stay tuned for our upcoming shows. Thanks so much for listening.